here on Periscope today, we're going to be discussing 6 quick tips for you to be able to take your Periscope following up to the next level. Okay, Periscope is a platform that you should be using. Every content marketer should be using Periscope. It's going to be a real game changer. It's going to become extremely, extremely important, particularly for people that are building personal brands. So people like authors, speakers, coaches, consultants, bloggers, podcasters, small business owners online, anybody that's building a brand around them or their business or their message, Periscope is going to become imperative for them to get involved with. So I'm going to lay down my 6 quick tips for you right now to build a really strong Periscope following, and then we'll go into some Q&A. Okay? All right. So tip number 1, everybody. Tip number 1. You must make sure that you include an enticing title when you start your broadcast. Just before you hit that big red broadcast now button, you get the opportunity to type in a title. Please, for the love of all that is holy, don't just include a buttload of emojis and trying to get people's attention that way. It doesn't work that way, okay? Emojis are being overused, and they're actually quite irritating for me now. I use 1, absolutely no more than 2 in my titles. And sometimes, as any of you hardcore Periscope fans will know, I use very, very few, if not any at all, in some of mine. So bear that in mind. So number 1 is the enticing title. Make sure that your title gives some kind of benefit for people to be able to click and watch that broadcast right there and then. Remember, a lot of people would be discovering you for the first time every single time that you do a Periscope broadcast. So bear in mind that enticing title will suck people into your broadcast so that you can then go ahead and kind of become friends with them. So number 1 is to have an enticing title. Number 2 is to acknowledge your viewers. Now, I start every Periscope with a little bit of music. It's usually some funk or some blues or soul, because that's the kind of jam that I'm all about. And what I do for the first 3 or 4 minutes or so is just welcome everybody. Hey, what's up? Karen from New Jersey. Hey, how are you doing there? You know, blah, blah, blah in London. Blah, 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 blah. And I just acknowledge my viewers. There is absolutely nothing wrong at the beginning of your broadcast taking 3 or 4 minutes, particularly if you've got a little bit of background music, to be able to just acknowledge your visitors, acknowledge your viewers, say hello to them, call some of them out by name. People like that stuff. Trust me. They like that stuff. If you liked that intro right now, do me a quick favor, type in the word yes in the comment section right now. Let's see if you agree that acknowledging your viewers right out of the gate is a good idea. Quick sip of water. Okay, so that's the second one. By the way, if you're enjoying these tips, and everybody's saying yes, so I love that. If you're enjoying these tips, please tap Perry Buddy down the bottom here, everybody. Tap him real quick, just one time, tap him once, and then tap again on the share function, and share this on Periscope and on Twitter if you can as well. I'd really appreciate it. Let's get some more people over. Okay, so that's number 3. Okay, number 3 is to ask questions and to engage. Okay, so when you're talking about asking questions, the best kind of questions to ask on something like Periscope is reaffirming questions. So closed-ended questions where you want a yes or a no or a number or some sort of a closed answer. Okay, so I just said, do you like the way that I introduce and welcome some of my viewers at the beginning of the show? And I said, type in the word yes. Now, that's a question right there. I'm just acknowledging and engaging with my viewers even more. Okay, so that's the third thing, is to ask questions and really truly engage with the audience and get feedback and get to the point of you know, having them almost sort of nodding their head and agreeing with you as you're broadcasting, all right? So tip number 4 to be able to grow a great Periscope following is to ask for hearts, ask for shares, and ask for followers. The fact of the matter is that bottom line is, if you don't ask, you don't get. My old man used to say that to me all the time. So we used to ask him for pocket money increases on a monthly basis. I didn't always get them, but when I did ask from time to time, I would get them. If you don't ask, you don't get at the end of the day. So what I'm saying to you, do me a favor, everybody. Tap the screen like mad right now. Show some love for me and for everybody else that's right here in this broadcast right now. Tap the screen, everybody. Let's see the hearts. There we go. Now they're flying up like that. I'm having a bit of fun with it. I'm acknowledging you guys and engaging with you guys one more time, but I'm asking you to tap the screen and give me hearts. Okay? I've also asked you twice to share this broadcast. So if you haven't done it already, tap Perry Buddy down the bottom here and hit that share button on Twitter and Periscope. Let's get some more people in here. You see how easy it is to just ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. It's really that simple, okay? You can tap me right on the nose. Oh my gosh, the gents bro just said he's nose tapping. You can tap me right here. Right here you can tap me if you want. Okay, and lastly, make sure that you ask for followers as well. Just because somebody is watching one of your broadcasts doesn't mean that they're instantly going to decide to go ahead and actually follow you. It's like people that buy books on Amazon. Just because they buy a copy of my book, Virtual Freedom, doesn't mean that they're going to review it. Now, we've sold almost 40,000 copies of Virtual Freedom. 40,000 copies. But I've only got 600 plus reviews on Amazon, which, by the way, is an amazing accomplishment because it's very, very tough to get reviews on Amazon nowadays. But the fact that I've only got 600 out of 40,000 on my shows just said that people don't feel like they have to do something after they make an initial decision. So you guys made an initial decision to watch me right now here on Periscope. That doesn't mean that you're going to follow me. Right? So I have to ask you to do that. If you like the content that I'm producing right now, do me a favor, tap Perry Buddy down the bottom here, or swipe left or right or up to down, and then go ahead and just hit that plus sign next to my name and follow me on Periscope. See how easy it is? If you don't ask, you don't get. Number 5 is to be consistent with your broadcasting schedule. I broadcast at 10 a.m. Philippines time, Monday to Friday, every single day currently. That might change in the future, but that's my current schedule. So that's 10 p.m. the night before Eastern time in America. Now, all of my hardcore Quack Pack Duckerscope fans know this, and they sign in and they view every single day, a lot of them. Now, if I was doing this at every now and then, whenever I felt like it, there wouldn't be a schedule in place. So think about your scopes as a TV show. Consider them a TV show, okay? So bottom line is you have to be scoping at the same time, at the same schedule, so people can get used to you coming on the Periscope on a regular basis and they'll want to tune in all the time, okay? All right, and the last tip that I'm going to give you is to watch your own replays. I cannot stress this enough, is to watch your own replays. It's going to be brutal from time to time. Trust me, it's going to be brutal from time to time. But please spend the time and the energy and put the effort in to watch back your own replays, because trust me, you're going to get some incredible tips from yourself in terms of what you did well and what you did badly and all the rest of it. Attorney Sheena says that Duckerscope is her bedtime routine. That's so nice. I'm very flattered that you're taking me into bed with you every night before you sleep. But anyway, there you go. Bottom line is, guys, go ahead and watch your own replays and make sure that you learn from the mistakes that you make and that you give yourself some high fives when you know that you do something good. Okay? So that's the end of my 6 quick tips to be able to boost your Periscope following to the next level.